Children, last class we studied about how sports and history they are interrelated with each other, why sports is very important, and how many types of plays are there: organized, unorganized, uh, other types of plays, spontaneous, intelligent sports, and why the sports during ancient time, medieval time, it was important, and what is the use of this knowledge of history in our sports, why sports is very important for human being. Already we know that without sports or without any type of games, the childhood is very dull. It is very important for a person if we'll talk in terms of physical fitness, or we can say for growth of concentration, discipline in life. Sports and games is very important. Children, now today we will see sports and Greeks. What is the importance of, what are the importance and contribution of Greeks in the introduction of sports? Children, we know that Greeks or the place uh, Athens is very important, because already you know and all of you know very well that what is the importance of Olympic Games, and why Olympic Games is the most games or the most important event which is watched by the people all over the world. You know this. Children, before I start about Greeks or Olympics, just wanted to tell you that what is the history of Olympic Games. Children, although the ancient games were staged in Olympia, Greece from 776 BC through 393 AD, it took 1503 years for the Olympic to return. The first modern Olympic were held in Athens, that is Greece, in 1896. The man responsible for its rebirth was a Frenchman named Baron Pierre de Coubertin, who presented the idea in 1894. The ancient Greeks loved competition of all sorts. Each year, the various cities, states of Greece sent athletes to festivals of games which were held to honor the gods. The most important and prestigious were the games held at Olympia to honor Zeus, the king of gods. The modern Olympic Games began in 1896. So children, Greeks and Olympic Games, they are very complement to each other. Whenever we talk about games, Olympic Games comes to first in our mind, isn't it? So children, we'll see here first slide. Sports and Greeks is a very ancient equation. The Greeks were the first to standardize the rule of sports and organize them systematically. Already I told you that they were the first to start this Olympic Games. They started sports competition to discus throw, horse and chariot races, wrestling and boxing, etc. The ancient event of Olympic competitions used to be held at Olympia, the ancient Greek city. To be able to participate in Olympics and to be winner is supposed to be a great honor for sports person. You know that during that time. And you know what, one very interesting thing, that women were not allowed during that time. They were not supposed to watch all these games of Olympics in Athens during that time. Later on things were changed. Now we know various types of sports are included in Olympic Games, which was not included during so many years, before so many years. So it was very important to participate, because the winner was held at very high post. He was honored by king during that time. Now we will see history of sports. The history of sports is as old as humankind. You know, already previous class I told you that hunting was the game which was associated with ancient time, ancient men. Because in search of food, the man used to roam here and there, and they used to kill animals. They used so many stone tools and other tools which they developed themselves. So hunting was one kind of sport for the kings also. So, history of sports is as old as humankind. To begin with, what has been recorded or documented in the history of sports takes us back at least 3000 years ago. The early history of sports often involved the preparation of training for war of hunting. Hence, there were sports games that involved the throwing of spears, stakes, and rocks, and of course, lots of play fighting. Ancient Greece introduced formal sports with the first Olympic Games in 1776 BC that include sports such as human and chariot races, wrestling, jumping, disc and javelin throwing, and more. So you have watched that clip I gave you, the ancient or the origin of sports, various sports in that clip. So it goes back to 776 BC where the games were so many games were introduced in Olympic Games, and it was very interesting during that time.